First things first, man, I'm gonna inspect my kingpin, man. It's properly mounted and secure. My kingpin is not cracked, bent, or broken, man. Next, I'm gonna inspect my airlines, man. I'm gonna make sure they're properly mounted and secure, man. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts at both ends. And they're not leaking air, man. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check out my catwalk, man. My catwalk is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. The catwalk is clear of any loose objects, man. The catwalk steps can support the driver's weight. Next, I'm gonna inspect my skid plate, man. My skid plate is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's properly lubricated, man. Next, I go on to my release arm, man. My release arm is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's in the lock position, man. Next, I'm going to inspect the platform, man. The platform. The platform is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. The fifth wheel. Oh, man. I fell down while inspecting my vehicle. Still recording? Okay. What was I saying? My platform is properly mounted and secure, unlike my phone. It's properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. The fifth wheel is mounted on the platform, man. And all the mounting bolts are present, man. Next, I'm going to check out my trailer apron. My trailer apron, man. My trailer apron is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, man. There is no visible space between the trailer apron and the fifth wheel skid plate. Next, I'm going to go behind the trailer, man. I'm going to inspect these rear cargo doors, man. I'm going to make sure they're properly mounted and secure. Not cracked, bent, or broken. The doors open, close, and latch properly from the outside, man. The DOT bumper is present and intact, not peeling or messed up, man. Next, I'll check out my landing gear, man. My landing gear is fully raised. It's not It's not cracked, bent, or broken, man. It's properly mounted and secure. The legs go up and down together, and the crank handle is securely stowed in its cradle, man. Next, let's check out those locking jaws, man. The locking jaws are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, man. The locking jaws are fully locked around the shank of the kingpin, man. Now let's go on to how to hook up a trailer, man. How do you hook up a trailer, man? Well, the first thing you do is you line up the edge of the back of the trailer to match the edge of the tractor's tires, man. Then you pull right under the trailer till you hear a latch sound, man. Then you pull the parking brake, which is the yellow one. You can ignore the locking pin, man. It locks on its own. Hook up those glad hands, man, and then raise the landing gear, man. And then if you want to unhook a trailer, what you want to do is drop the landing gear down, man. Remove all those glad hands, man. Release the locking pin by reaching it and pulling, man. And then you push the yellow button, man. And then you can just pull away. Next, let's talk about inspecting my spring mount, man. Man, you want to make sure your spring mount is properly mounted and secure. Not cracked, bent, or broken, man. Now let's check out those leaf springs, man. The leaf spring should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. None have shifted out of place, man. Now let's check out the springs in general. The springs in general should be properly mounted and secure at both ends, man, and not cracked, bent, or broken. Now let's check out the U-bolts, man. The U-bolts are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. There should be 4 nuts and washers on the bottom, man. Now let's check out those spring hangers. They should be properly mounted and secure at both front and rear, man. And not cracked, bent, or broken. Now we're gonna check out the shock absorber, man. That shock absorber should be properly mounted and secure at both ends, man. Not cracked, bent, or broken. They are not leaking, man. Now let's inspect that power steering reservoir, man. The power steering reservoir should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No leaks, man. And the dipstick checks the levels just like the oil, man. You stick it in and you pull it out and you stick it in again, or you stick it in, you pull it out, you wipe it off, you stick it in again and check the reading, man. Now let's talk about the gear-driven power steering pump, man. The gear-driven power steering pump should be properly mounted and secure, man. Not cracked, bent, or broken with no leaks, man. And if you follow the hose from the power steering reservoir, it leads right back to my gear-driven power steering pump, man. Now let's inspect the steering gearbox, man. The steering gearbox should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts, man. The gearbox is not leaking, man. The power steering gearbox hoses are properly mounted and secure at both ends with no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The hoses are not rubbing on anything, man. Now let's check out the steering linkage, man. The steering linkage is properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. The drag link connections are made with a castle nut and a cotter pin, man. So remember, man, the steering linkage is made with the castle nut and the cotter pin, man. Nothing is twisted or wrapped around the tie rod, man. What do you think this is, man? Now let's talk about the steering column, man. The steering column, man, is properly mounted and secure, man. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no excessive movement at the U-joint, man. The steering wheel should not have more than 10 degrees of play. That's all in regards to the steering column, man. Now let's inspect the brake drum and pads, man. I'll tell you what, man. The brake drum and pads, man, they should be properly mounted and secure. Not cracked, bent, or broken. No illegal welds, man. And no less than a quarter-inch thickness on the brake pads. No grease, oil, or debris in between my brake pads and my brake drum, man. Man, you should also inspect your front brakes. Let me tell you what. The front brakes, man, should be properly mounted and secure at both ends. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The hoses are not leaking air, and the hoses are not rubbing on anything, man. Next, man, you should inspect your slack adjusters and the push rod, man. You know why? Because the slack adjuster and the push rod should be properly mounted and secure. No, not cracked, bent, or broken. And with the brakes released, that push rod does not move more than 1 inch when the slack adjuster is pulled. Next, you should inspect that brake chamber, man. The brake chamber should be properly mounted and secure. That C-clamp is secured around the chamber and it's not cracked, bent, or broken. You should also inspect your rims, man. Listen, the rim should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. The flange is not bent. There are no illegal welding repairs and there are no rust trails, man. While you're down there, man, why don't you inspect those lug nuts, man? The lug nuts, you should have all 10 lug nuts and they are in place. None are missing. There should be no rust trails. There should be no power residue, man. There should be no cracks around the bolt holes, man. Listen to me. Why don't we check out the wheel seal, man? The wheel seal is also called the hub seal or the axle seal. They should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and the wheel seal should be filled to the manufacturer's specifications, man. Next, we should inspect the tire spacers, man. The tire spacers should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and not rusted through, man. There should be proper spacing between the two tires. There should be no foreign objects stuck in between those tires, man. Next, let's inspect the tires themselves. Listen, there should be no abrasions, bulges, or cuts on the tread or the sidewall. There should be no visible tread separation. There should be no evidence of uneven wear on them tires, man. There should be no foreign objects stuck in the tire. The tire is not leaking air. All valve stems, inner and outer, have caps. And the tires should be filled to the manufacturer's specifications. And the tread should be at least 4 32 seconds on the steering tires and 2 32 seconds on all those other tires, man. You should also inspect the trailer lights and those reflectors, man. They should make sure that those are clean, not cracked, bent, or broken, and the proper colors, man. You should inspect the frame side rails. The frame side rails should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and there are no non-factory welds, man. Next, you should inspect the header board. That header board should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, no holes, no missing rivets, man. You should inspect the cross members on the trailer and the side rails, man. Those cross members and side rails, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, no non-factory welds, man. You should inspect your tractor's front airbags. Make sure they're properly mounted and secure, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, no mounting bolts that are missing, man. No airbag mounts or bolts that are cracked, bent, or broken. And that the airbag is not leaking air, man. You should walk around to your engine now, man. And you should inspect the coolant reservoir, man. The coolant reservoir should be properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, with no leaks. Then inspect your exhaust, man. Make sure your exhaust system is properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No soot trails which may indicate a leak, man. If you want to just take an overall engine condition, man, the overall engine condition you just take looking out and looking in at the engine, man. I don't see any leaks or hear any leaks, man. There's no missing bolts, clamps, or nuts, and there's no hanging wires, man. Now I should inspect my belt-driven alternator. My belt-driven alternator is properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No missing nuts or bolts. The wires on the back are secured, man, and there's no exposed wire or illegal tape. Now let's check out the belt-driven water pump, man. The belt-driven water pump is properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No missing nuts or bolts and no leaks. Frame and my cross members, they're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No non-factory welds or holes. Let's inspect our reflecting tape, man. Our reflector tape is DOT tape and it's present. It's clean. It's affixed securely, man. Now let's inspect our fuel tank. Our fuel tank is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking those gases, man. And there's no fuel lines are leaking. Like I said, man. So the tank's not leaking and the fuel lines are not leaking. The fuel filler caps are closed tight, man. And the rubber spacers are present. Man, those rubber spacers are the things that keep the fuel tank attached, man. Otherwise, if you don't have that, it's metal rubbing on metal. It's not good, man. Let's inspect our driving door, our driver's door, man. It's properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. The door opens and closes and latches properly from the outside, man. The hinges support the driver's weight. And the door seals are not worn, torn, or rotted, man. Let's also inspect our mud flaps, man. Our mud flaps are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, man. Let's inspect our turning signals, man. Our turn signals are clean. They're of the proper color. They work. They're properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, man. Now let's inspect the front view of the vehicle, man. That's if you're standing in front of it and you're looking at it. What are you going to say, man? You have to say something, man. Say, it's not leaning to one side or the other. There's nothing visible that's broken or hanging loose, man. And most importantly, there's no puddles underneath that would indicate the leak, like an oil leak or a radiator leak, man. You have to look for that, man. Let's inspect the headlights. Let's make sure the headlights are clean, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and not fogged out, man. Man, next let's inspect our mirrors, man. Yeah, you know the mirrors, we need to make sure they're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. Gotta make sure those mirrors are clean. Now this one's gonna be a long one, so stay with me, alright? This is the in-cab inspection. This is all the things you're gonna do when you're sitting inside the vehicle, man. So this is not the outside thing, it's the inside thing, man. So I'm getting inside the truck, man. I'm sitting down. My inspector guy is next to me. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like start up my truck. I'm gonna be like, yo, my ABS light goes on and off, man. The windshield is not cracked or bent or broken. It's not chipped. There's no illegal stickers on it. It's cleaned properly. It's sealed. There's no obstructions on my windshield, man. Then I'm going to turn on my wipers, man. I'm going to turn on my wipers. I'm going to say, yo, my wipers are properly mounted and secure. They're not damaged and they're operating properly. And man, I'm going to squirt some washing fluid. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Wipe the washing fluid off, man. Make sure those things work, man. Then I look at my oil gauge, man. Make sure my oil gauge is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, man. And also check your other gauges, like your water temperature gauge. Also say that's properly mounted and secure, not cracked or bent or broken, man. Check your voltmeter, man. Say the same thing about that. Your air tank gauges, you know, you got your primary air tank, your secondary air tank. Make sure all those are working, man. Then you turn on your turn signal, man. Turn on the turn signal on the left, the turn signal on the right, man. Turn on your four-way flashers, man. Make sure those work. Then you turn on your headlights, man. Low beams and the high beams. You have to tell him all those things are working properly, man. Then you need to turn your steering wheel, man. Left and right. Tell him there's no more than 10 degrees or 2 inches of play, man. Then you got to honk your horn, man. Honk your horn, man, and press your pedals and say, my city horn works. My highway horn works, man. My brake pedal is working properly. It's not cracked or broken. It's properly mounted and secure. Say that about your gas pedal and your brake pedal, or a clutch pedal if you're one of those manual transmission trucks, man. Then the windows, man. Check out your windows, man. Make sure they're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, man. Make sure they roll up and they roll down, man. Make sure that works, man. Door handle. My door handle is properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, man. Then your AC and the heater, man. Turn up the AC, man. Make sure it's working properly, then switch it over to the heater. Make sure that's working properly, man. Then while you're in the truck, man, you should test your valves, man. Let the inspector know you know which valve is what. Make sure they're properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken with no leaks, man. Make sure you have all your spare fuses, man. Tell the guy, yo, I got my spare fuses. They're properly mounted and secure. I also have a fire extinguisher in case of emergency, man. And that is properly mounted and secure. I also have my emergency triangles. Those are also available and they're properly mounted and secure, ready to go, man. Okay, man.